Hello and welcome back, this is Insti and we're continuing playing Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Last episode, well, what started as a stolen paintings turned into a murder of a painter and now to death of the killer. Well, actually, not murder of the painting, manslaughter probably, and death of a killer who died by his own blade. And but things turned a little bit darker. There's exploitation of refugees, especially one female refugee, and we have two leads. Which
is this? I just need to collect my thoughts, Sherry.
okay, so I'll go a little bit further away so screams don't bother that much. Sketch of abuse of the abuser. Badges like these are usually awarded to British high-ranking officials. Not many of those visit Cordona, let alone work on the island. And then we have this Niccolo Bernadotti, businessman from Scalaria, who is rumored to run a smuggling chain covered importing goods and wines between the colonies and mainland. The question is, where could I get some more information? I might start from this. So he has a medal. So either from city archives or a newspaper. Well, city archives are right over there, so I'd as well go and check it from there, because it's right over here. So we will see if there's anything to find. If not, then it's the newspapers. I could check the other one also in here, but let's see. Oh, whoa, stop stuttering. Hello.
I'm curious, how did Mycroft recruit you? I doubt you're a field agent. I imagine you work with intelligence.
That's correct. Your brother noticed me when I tracked down a spy at the archives. That's how our cooperation began. And you? Did Mycroft force you into this?
Not at all. We simply have a mutual interest in someone. Or something.
Of course. A fruitful and willing collaboration, I'm sure.
Well, I'm his younger brother. I have to accept the consequences of being a close relative of an official figure.
I suppose in a way we are colleagues, Mr. Holmes.
In the remotest way possible, Miss Oni.
Okay. So let's go. Trying to find out. Oh, it's stuttery here. I don't know how it's happening, but he would be an official probably. Maybe legal document because of the medal. British. Thomas Norton, born 1840 in London, graduated from University of Oxford in 1864. In 1869, started working at Home Office as a secretary. In 1875, took a position as a military commissioner in India, honored by the Queen herself with the Order of the Bath in 1877. 1st of March 1878, was appointed as the British envoy in Cordona with his own cabinet in the City Hall. Okay. Now, let's see if I can see anything from here. Businesses. British, probably. Maybe legal document. Do we have a Scaladio? Let's put Scaladio here. Oh, let's take the period off and Scaladio here. Bernadotti Company Ltd summary. Established 1873 by Niccolo Bernadotti. Main office Southeastern Scaladio Bazaar Road, near the crossing with Roman Road. Bernadotte Company Ltd ships goods between African British colonies and the rest of the United Kingdom, including Cordona. Imported products include food, wine, coffee, everyday goods, and more. Indeed. The founder of the company is Mr. Niccolo Bernadotte, born in Sicilia, Italy. Mr. Bernadotte moved to London as a 39-year-old businessman. Later the same year, he moved his base of operations to Cordona, in his words, to be closer to the colonies he has business in. Since Mr. Bernardotti's arrival in Cordona in 1873, he has become a notable patron of the arts and an investor in Cordona's social well-being. Among his latest contribution is the purchasing of new equipment for the police station and aiding a governor in bringing an airship called Led Zeppelin across from Germany. Right. Let's start with Thomas Norton. Oh, what a lovely man. Why didn't
I'll
I
be
hear?
right here.
Okay. A little bit problems here now and then. I don't think it's inside here, so let's move a little further. Ah, here we are. Let's see what kind of a person he is. Can we check anything else in his room? The Empire strikes hard. Okay. Safe. Don't mind me. I'm just checking your room around before I check you out. Okay. Okay, bastard. Let's talk.
If you're here on matters of signing up for military service, come back tomorrow. Our department needs to straighten out some business.
Didn't sleep last night. No time to shave. Well worn, never removed. Of course not. Wine. Wine. Yeah, you probably had a hard night again. And there's the last one. Okay. Rumpled clothes, stays at work late. The odor of the bath looks quite warm. The man is proud of it and never takes it off. The red stain in his wrist indicates that he has recently drank wine. His clothes are wrinkled, he barely bothers to shave, and his red eyes indicate that he may suffer from insomnia or deep anxiety. It looks as if he lives with a nightmare, attempting to rid himself of his terrible memories of the past mistakes. No. A red wine stain on the wrist and his unshaven face indicate a lazy attitude towards his duty. The odor of the bath, it looks quite warm. The man is proud of it and never takes it off. Well, that much is true. Wrinkled clothes and red eyes may mean that he didn't return home last night. Instead of work, this man would rather lose himself in a depravity and alcohol. Yeah, let's go with that.
Why are you staring at me like I'm a Madame Tussauds figure? Didn't you hear what I just said?
On my way here, I was wondering whether you might regret what you did. I tried my best to retain at least a shred of faith in humanity. I had hoped that you would hear her scream, see her face in your dreams, or at least once ask yourself how Naylor might feel.
Who?
Neither of my hopes were fulfilled.
Why are you here?
Punch him in the face. Okay.
You defiled a girl who was with child. Don't even pretend that you regret what took place. Do you wonder why I came here? It is because I am disgusted with people like you, and the only way in my mind to rid the world of your ilk is to see you hanging from the gallows.
All right, all right. Is it about money, as you said in the letter? I have it, all right? There's no need for violence.
I've never written a single word to you. As you can see, I have a more direct approach.
That letter, it wasn't from you. So what do you want?
Answers, to start with.
Fine. I suppose now we have a nice long talk. Do you drink, Mr.
Sherlock Holmes. And I do not.
Shame. All the best discussions are accompanied by a glass of whiskey. But out of respect for you, I won't drink either.
Respect? That's an unusual word in your mouth, Mr.
Where are my manners? My name is Thomas Norton, a British envoy in Cordona on a military mission. So, where do we start?
Okay. Let's start with that.
You mentioned blackmail. Tell me about it.
All right. A couple of days ago, I received an anonymous letter. It said that in the art gallery at Caravansary there exists a painting that incriminates me. The blackmailer made it clear that if there is a painting, then a photograph exists too. And I should be wary of what it might do to my reputation.
What does the blackmailer want from you?
Money, of course. What else do such people want? Needless to say, I don't remember anyone taking photographs at the party. Up until the last moment, I hoped he was bluffing. But he wasn't, as you've just proven to me.
Show me the letter.
I burnt it as soon as I read it. I've left enough evidence. There's no need for any more.
Okay, so what happened at the party?
So, let's return to the beginning. What happened at the party?
I vaguely remember that night. As usual at such parties, you meet people, you talk with them, they invite you to spend some time alone with them. What can I say? I got myself mixed up with the wrong company, and somebody must have mixed some psychoactive substance in my drink. After that, it's all blurry. I completely lost my sanity. I made a terrible mistake which I regret deeply.
You don't say. Do refugee girls often appear on the menu at those types of parties?
It's rather rare.
So you didn't attend the party to engage in an exotic experience involving a vulnerable woman unable to accuse you of assault?
I would never have planned such a terrible thing. What happened was just bad circumstance.
Well, bad circumstance indeed. I'm dreading what will be the choice after this mission, when this mission ends. What about Mercurio?
Boniface Mercurio, does the name mean anything to you?
He's an artist, right?
The one responsible for the painting that compromises you. I found him dead in his room.
Oh, that is bad. Wait, you don't think that I have anything to do with this?
You had motive to kill him.
Maybe I did, but listen. I know how this looks, but murder? That's on another level. I had thoughts that this Mercutio...
Mercurio.
Well, him, yes. I thought he could have been the blackmailer. But I was too afraid to make any hasty decisions. There were plenty of ways to fail by making a move, so I chose to wait. To see what he would do next. You have to believe me.
I don't believe people, I believe evidence.
Then look at the evidence.
So, did you try stealing?
The painting that depicted you in the image of the devil was stolen by a mercenary. Did you have anything to do with it?
I might be a rotten person, sir, but hiring criminals for illicit purposes is not in my daily schedule.
And buying the painting in an attempt to hide the crime, is that on your daily schedule?
What would you do in my situation?
I would never put myself in such a situation.
You're young. I could never have imagined myself in my current position, yet here I am in front of you. We all make mistakes, Mr. Holmes. And I'm no exception. Mr. Holmes, I've built my entire career on hard work and uncompromising dedication to the Crown. I made a mistake, but I'm not a villain from some cheap adventure fiction. By putting me behind bars, you will benefit precisely no one.
Rotting in prison is the least you deserve, but I have a better idea. You will make amends and help the ones you hurt.
Wait, what? Well, everybody?
Use your connections to help patriate the refugees, find them decent homes, give them jobs. There must be a meaning to your position and my decision.
Yes, all right, I can do that. So, will you give me the photograph now?
That's not all. Naylor deserves the very utmost of what you can do.
Help the girl? I can't risk the press paying extra attention to her. I will do anything except that.
I need to think this all through. Don't do anything foolish in the meantime.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism. I take your point.
Come on, it's not like we've got anything better to do.
I don't know what to do with this at the moment. All refugees are victims of the system. The situation they are in must and can be mended. I think I know where this is going to go. Either I expose him, which would be totally correct thing to do, and he gets sentence for his crime. Or I don't judge him, or put him on the sentence and expose him and get him on the sentence, and he would help the refugees. He may have been drugged, but still. So let's see what this person has to say. Yeah, it's going to be that moral choice. Need for the many and what sort of things. East Escaladio Pasar Road. Wait. There's the Bazaar Road and Roman Road. Near the crossing with... here? And yeah, the problem is, well, the problem is the refugees definitely need some further circumstances. But is it something that you will let the rapist go? But yeah, we have a little bit time because we need to go and see that other person. Interesting to see what he has to say and how he connects. He's probably the blackmailer, maybe. So he got a whiff of what had happened in the party, and he tried to get the painting and picture for himself. It would maybe. Oh wait, Roman Road, Bazaar Road. Oh, stuttering. What is this? Ah, yes. Here we are.
It seems they're not expecting guests.
I won't wait for an invitation, John. Excuse me, just one question.
I'm sorry, but I've never heard of that.
You are standing next to it. Okay, so we need to get inside, but from where? Anything in here? Is this connected? Nope. I need to change clothing. Is there anything here? The front door of the Penalty Company Ltd office is closed. We should find... Ah, okay. Yeah, we are finding another way in, obviously. Probably here then. Ah, yes. I was on the wrong side.
These workers don't look like your average Cordona folk.
They're refugees from the camp.
Oh, so this is how he probably heard about what had happened in the party. And he is using the refugees also.
Porcelain friend for every child.
Oh, isn't this great?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's beyond my knowledge.
Okay, but let's check the stuff first.
This earthenware came a long way from the Staffordshire potteries.
Okay, what else we can find from here? Aha, wine.
Shipped from Cape Town. The wine route from colony to colonies. An essential remedy against sea scourge on any ship. Bernadotte doesn't miss an opportunity to occupy every
You go
niche in
talk
the
to that
market.
beef. I'll sneak up from behind and take him out.
Right. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I'll make a save just to be certain. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna choose, but... What are you doing, John? You are ridiculous again.
Come on, Sherry. It's time to act.
I know.
Hey, yo, this is private property. You lost something.
I'm here to discuss business with Mr. Bernadotte. I tried the front door, but...
Mr. Bernadotte isn't seeing anyone. You have 3 seconds to walk away or you'll never walk again. Capito?
It's in Mr. Bernadotte's best interest to...
1.
Wait a minute. One of your people is dead. Hate him.
I did try to resolve this peacefully.
I'm not taking no for an answer this time. And I'm guessing we would still end up with fighting, maybe. I don't know. Who cares?
I'm coming.
Okay.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
Yeah.
No more crime for you and...
The snuff's ready.
Oh. Oh, managed to hit it. Nice. I was pretty certain that I
Too simple.
missed him.
Give him the pepper snuff.
And fortunately he didn't have the mask.
Take a rest, my friend.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Yeah, I will. I will. At some point. Oh. Well, that works.
No more crime for you.
The snuff's ready.
Oh, you're there, okay. Oh, you have some armor.
Time to knock this guy out. Overcome him. Don't
Oh,
rush.
I thought, well,
I'm
Good.
coming for you.
wait. No, that was weird.
Too simple.
I was pretty sure that I hit the bottle on his back, but maybe I didn't. You have too many.
He's all yours now.
I'm coming for you.
Yes. Whoa!
I'm coming.
I failed the quick time event. Unfortunately. Come on.
Take this! I couldn't miss the party.
Don't bother.
Give him the pepper snuff.
That worked.
I'm coming for you.
And
No more crime for you until next month.
until next month. Well, maybe never. If you're
Don't
lucky.
bother.
The snuff's ready.
Oh, we're done. Okay, good. So I'll check the area first. I think well, where did I came from? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Things are exploding by themselves.
Sherry, look. This seems familiar.
Okay, what is happening here? Interesting piece of
A
art.
Dogon statue from West Africa. A century old at least.
Ah, smuggling.
Masks, traditional for the Chokwe people of Central Africa.
And what else?
VH Grindley Flow Blue tableware. This is what lies behind the facade of Bernadotte Company Limited.
You are correct. And
Let's see what's hidden there.
okay. What am I supposed to see? Oh,
Vogel's stolen painting. Isn't it curious how it developed into a much more interesting case?
it is, yes, indeed. Who's sniveling? Nayla is the woman from the photograph. Okay. Envoy's interest in the photograph is pragmatic. If he obtains it, nothing will threaten his reputation. But that's not all. Who are you?
No, sir.
Ah,
Don't
okay.
hurt me.
No,
It's all
no.
right. I won't harm you.
Obviously, I'm
Like
not.
you didn't harm the folks on the way here.
Wait, what? I didn't harm anyone.
This marble fella. It's like he was made after my image. You see it?
Almost. Almost, yes.
Don't come any closer. One step and I'll shred you to pieces.
Right.
Keep standing in my way and no one will ever see you again.
Righto. Yes. Yep. Well, excuse me, sir. I think I hear... I've got to... It's better I leave.
Whoa. Oh, wow. That was as if somebody put my words in your mouth.
Thank you. Thank you. I try my best, after all. Logistics. Nothing in there. Ah. Cordona front page Zeppelin related. Alright, he bought the...
You acted so much like me.
Did I? And that's... No. Can I enter here? Nope. So what can we do around here? I think that's the main... That's accounting. What are you doing?
I suppose it's Mr. Bernadotte with our fine governor.
Alright, yes. The governor also.
1875. It's taken a few years back. John, how many people in Cordona have a photograph with the governor, do you think?
You definitely don't have one.
Please don't shoot me. I have a family.
I'm not shooting you. Webill's legal. City Hall emblem, invitation to the ball, expensive paper. Okay, can I take this? Nope.
Spare me.
I'm not going to kill you. Oh, that's where I need to be, I guess. So I'll check these. No, I can't go to that counting, unfortunately. So, let's continue.
So, you've cut through all the guards just to talk to me. And
Yes.
come here, and we shall talk.
Quite a collection, yes.
Sherry, don't you think this office suits me?
Well, almost yes. Relative, maybe. I don't see anything else, so time to talk.
Whenever you're ready. I'd hate to intrude.
Okay, what can we learn about you? Different from others? Well, it's a rank symbol. That would make sense. Dirty work, yes. Ah. Cold-blooded. And married. Ruthless crime lord. Niccolo Bernadotte is a cruel gang leader who isn't afraid of getting his hand dirty to show off his position of power. A hard worker in his youth, Bernadotte grew hatred towards the world around him. He continually expects trouble and is always ready to make some. Raised in poor family, he had to work in the fields from young age. This led to his suffering from pellagra, the effects of which still show on his skin. He refuses to hide this under fancy clothes, that he might always remember where his motives and identity were born. Bernadotte and his men have different tattoos in the same style. The tattoos are most probably a code that represents different ranks within tightly structured and secretive criminal organization. Calculating mastermind. Harsh gang leader and calculating businessman, he beams confidence and menace. He anticipates danger by keeping his gun near him, but still holds it in the holster. Bernadotte descends from the working class, being raised in a poor family. He had to work in the fields of young age, yes. Overcame the disease, but its effects still shown. Despite being financially comfortable now, he still distances himself from the high life, keeping his clothing and appearance quite conservative. I'll go with the calculating mastermind. He does seem like it.
Niccolo Bernadotte, I presume? The name is Sherlock Holmes, and I'm afraid I bring bad tidings.
Is that so?
The man you sent to the refugee camp failed in his task. He impaled himself on his own blade. Clumsy and chaotic end.
For a man who just broke onto my property, you are more businessman than brute. You have my attention, Mr. Holmes. Do not waste it.
Okay. I guess you know Boniface Mercurio.
Mr. Bernadotte, do you know the name Boniface Mercurio?
I do not.
Mercurio was a local artist. Recently, a man broke into his apartment, ransacked the place, and killed him. The thief was looking for something.
You are testing my patience, boy.
In a moment, the connection will reveal itself. I was hired, privately, to investigate the recent theft of a painting from an art gallery. My investigation led me to a man from your organization, and thus, to you, Mr. Bernadotte.
That is quite a stretch. Why would I need to steal a painting when I could buy anyone I wanted?
Interestingly enough, I spotted the stolen painting in your storeroom.
I buy and sell a lot of things, Mr. Holmes. Unfortunately, if this is true, it is not the first time I have been sold stolen merchandise. I presume you were hired by the owner of the gallery. Tell them to contact me, and we'll sort out the situation. So, this painting is why you broke into my office?
Not quite.
As I said, your man was found dead in the refugee camp. He was there to kidnap a woman, but the other refugees intervened to try and save her. The ensuing scuffle resulted in the man's accidental suicide. He sported the same tattoo as your men in this building. In fact, it also bears a resemblance to the one on your neck. Care to explain what business your man had with this woman?
You have no idea what you are talking about. I can assure you this was no kidnapping. The refugees in the camp are on edge. What happened there is a tragic accident, one I am not responsible for.
For what reason was your man there if not to abduct her?
Why would I answer? You are yet to justify your presence in the slightest. So many words, so little action. When you barged into my office, Mr. Holmes, I got the impression you wanted to talk business. Now I see you had come just to talk. Tell me exactly what you want, or get out.
It was necessary groundwork for what comes next. I have enough evidence to conclude that the gallery thief, the artist's killer, and the dead man in the camp are all the same person.
Your time is almost up, Mr. Holmes.
Before you draw your gun, there is one final detail I am yet to mention. The young woman your man was tasked to collect from the refugee camp had been defiled at a perverse masquerade party. That violation was captured in a photograph by Boniface Mercurio and used as a reference for his painting. The photo shows the attacker's face.
Finally. That's why you're here, Mr. Holmes. You have the photograph.
It is what your man was after when he broke into Mercurio's apartment, and it is what you're after too, isn't it, Mr. Bernadotti?
You have the photograph with you. How much do you want for it?
I am not naive enough to carry it with me, but I am yet to decide what I shall do with it. I know the man in the photo is a British envoy. What interest do you have in his downfall?
I must admit, I'm rather impressed by how comprehensively you have pursued this matter. And so, you deserve the honest answer. My business dealings are often arduous in their bureaucracy. A man in his position, willing to look the other way, could ease my work significantly. In return, I will make sure no one looks his way either. A favor for a favor.
Also known as blackmail, the modus operandi of any true professional.
It was not originally my idea. Mercurio set things in motion, extorting the envoy for the most trivial of ends. Money. In response, the envoy hired my man to retrieve the painting and the photograph, eliminating Mercurio's leverage. I only learned the whole story after the artist was killed in his home.
And rather than extricate yourself, instead you took over Mercurio's venture.
It fell into my lap. As a businessman, I simply seized the opportunity. Now, how much do you want for the image?
I could not help but appreciate the collection of smuggled artifacts in your storeroom. You have rather diversified your business.
Oh, high and mighty of you, Mr. Holmes. Not all smuggling is immoral. I pay generous rates to developing cultures and spread their culture to eager buyers. And furthermore, I supply many immigrants with a taste of home.
A very convenient way of thinking.
I have traveled widely, Mr. Holmes. I've seen people in far-flung lands for whom my services are a lifeline. Without them, they would starve. The tax on cargo is often so absurd that it would be more profitable to simply sink your ship than dock it in the harbor. And trust me, I am speaking from experience.
How magnanimous of you.
Why did you send your man to remove the woman from the camp?
Without a photograph, her testimony was the next best thing. Securing her was in everyone's interest. Victims and witnesses all too often disappear. I thought the girl was safer with us. I did not anticipate what would happen at the camp.
I saw refugees from the camp at your warehouse. They work for you.
I have made certain arrangements with City Hall and the police. Thanks to me, refugees can work and be paid. It's a pathway to freedom.
And how much do you save by capitalizing on their cheap labor?
I have heard no complaints. They seem happy just to get out of that slum.
Oh no, now we are in a problematic situation. The official lied, the envoy lied about how he tried to get the painting back. But the situation complicated now. If I hang the envoy with the picture, exposing him, the refugees are still in the camp, and this guy can still keep using them as a almost free labor. If I don't expose the envoy and take his blackmail him to give the refugees better standing and live from where they are, then I'm hurting also this guy. But the crime is not punished. Bloody hell.
Why should I give you the photograph?
Just name your price.
What if my price were not money? You claim to have connections, Mr. Bernadotte. Perhaps you could improve conditions for the refugees. Give them a chance for a better life.
Ha! I do have connections, Mr. Holmes, but help the whole camp? You are asking too much. I could, however, make arrangements for one person. The woman who was violated will have her own home outside the camp, solely for her and her child. She will no longer be a refugee, but a princess. That I can guarantee.
Is that really possible?
It will be neither fast nor easy, but I can do it. She deserves it, don't you agree? And as for her abuser, he will serve me, as much as he deserves.
So, in your plan, everybody will be given their due. Especially you, Mr. Bernadotte.
Seems like a fair deal, no? I doubt anyone could offer you better. Simply give me the photograph, and the world becomes a better place. I give you my word.
So we have expose the envoy, get him probably jail. Refugees still suffer and they still work with him. Give the photograph to that guy. I understand you. The girl gets a great life, hopefully, if we can trust him. But let's say we trust him. She gets a great life, a better life. But the rest of the refugees suffer and they still work with him. And he has a hold on with the city hall, even tighter than now. To be honest, how much worse could it be at the moment? Or we give the photograph to the envoy. He doesn't get sentenced, but all the refugees get a better standing, and also that guy probably couldn't use them as a labor. Bloody hell. John, you say what I do.
Sherry, don't you think this office suits me?
So let's see. To gather proof of the envoy's crimes in order to blackmail him. Victim of violation. Nayla was violated and very nearly kidnapped. First of all, I must make sure that she and her baby are secured. System sufferers. All refugees are victims of the system. The situation they are in must and can be mended. One thing is certain, I'm not going to give it to him. Oh, by the way,
Front
can I?
door's now open, sir. You can leave through it. If you want, of course.
Thank you. Don't worry, I'm not doing anything to you. Can I not? Let's see. I'll make a save because I just want to see. I'm almost certain that I can expose him. The British envoy violated Neela, the refugee during the party, were the photograph of the crime to be released. Were the photograph of the crime to be released, it would ruin his career, or perhaps I could use the leverage to help the refugee camp. Merciless justice, the envoy can be neither trusted nor forgiven for what he did. Humiliation and ostracization from an outraged Cordona are the least he deserves. Give the photograph to Vogel so he can make everything public. Thomas Nordo is a debaucher who has committed a terrible act. Even though he deserves to be brought to justice, I cannot overlook the opportunity to do greater good. Give the envoy the photograph in exchange for the refugees' legalization. Bloody hell. Definitely I'm not going to give the photograph to that guy. So the question remains. If indeed I help the envoy, it would hurt Bernadotte also, because he couldn't probably use them as easy as he does now. So it's not just because that he would get a the problem is if I give the picture to the envoy, refugees would probably get better standing. Bernadotte would probably feel a hit from that. If I don't give the picture to envoy, I expose him. Refugees still would be refugees. They still could be used by Bernadotte. Oh, bloody hell. Not easy one. Not easy one at all. I definitely would like to nail the bastard, but then the others still continue to suffer, and they still could end up in the same situation as she is. Because they're vulnerable. I really don't want. Lesser of two evils, maybe, I don't know. This is almost like some kind of Witcher grey areas. Well, not grey area. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna hate myself, but I think I made my decision. It's not the greatest one. Received letter. He claims himself guilty but proposes a deal. If I bring him the photograph, he will help the refugees. Because with this I probably could hit also the Bernadottis. And probably, hopefully, I could make sure that that thing won't happen again.
Come on, it's not like we've got anything better to do.
Have you thought it all through?
Almost. The refugees, what will happen to them?
Well, I wouldn't be standing here in this fancy office if I didn't know how to pull the right strings. In fact, it's the only thing I know. The local governor will receive a decree signed by the House of Lords containing a request to patriate the refugees in the name of the Crown.
From where did you gain such influence?
I never asked you how you found the photograph. So don't ask the magician how he performs his tricks.
But how can I believe you?
Ugh, I presume you do believe in my selfishness. The initiator of the refugee salvation will be none other than the British envoy, savior and protector of those in need. It's a win situation for me, too. Now, what about the photograph?
You deserve to be punished, but the greater good is what matters here. I won't bargain it for justice for Naylor.
I'm glad that this situation is over.
It will be over when you settle the matter of the refugees.
You have my word, Mr. Holmes.
I need a bath after this.
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
Huh, he's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious.
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio, perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor. What about the stolen painting? Have you located it?
I found the painting, but I could not retrieve it.
Well then, where is it?
In Bernadotti's office.
Bernadotti? That shady businessman? Why would he steal it from me?
I'm afraid you'll have to ask him yourself.
I take it you found something more then. What happened to your crusade of truth? Was it not that important after all?
No truth will satisfy you, Mr. Vogel.
It was not an attack, Mr. Holmes. If you've chosen not to tell me, I respect your intention. But it is just rather boring, isn't it?
It is what it is.
Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I took the liberty of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to your mother.
Okay.
And what exactly have you sent me?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
Well, right.
Previously you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh dear, I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had no idea of her suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine.
Okay, I think we're done with that.
Thank you, Mr. Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.
Well, let's go with that. Do I have anything to shop? I could do that. If I... No... Well, we have news. Cordona Chronicle. Well, that's not news. That seems like a case. But before we do that, I'll go check the gift, obviously. And if I can, I would like to also shop. Let's see what we have. Is there anything in here? No, not at the moment. Aha, a big box. The what now?
Just look at this thing. It's huge.
It is.
It's a bizarre object, and yet oddly familiar.
Mermaid?
Did you just remember something?
Yes. A room full of curiosities and artifacts. I think I can find it in the manor.
Sherlock. So, you continue to pursue the imaginary. I had hoped you might have got all this out of your system by now.
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Get out of my house.
It's my house, actually. I've come to bring you back.
I have no interest in returning, let alone with you. I know you lied about Mother all these years, claiming she was merely ill, but she was unstable. She never had tuberculosis. She was not recuperating, but mentally deteriorating, and you never once thought to tell me. How dare you?
I shall not indulge this petulant tantrum. You can just tire yourself out and then slink back to London with your tail between your legs.
Just tell me everything. I'm an adult now. Show me the basic courtesy of an explanation. You know I will find out eventually.
The goal was stability, and that's what you got. The right thing for everyone was to try and move on from her passing.
The consequences of one's actions determines what is right or wrong.
Yes, exactly. The ends justify the means. After leaving Cordona, Sherlock, you had a normal childhood. In London, I was able to support you, guide you, shape you into a fine and productive young man. You have so much potential, so much to offer society.
But that's not the end. Now I found the truth, and it has shattered everything I knew about her, about you, and about myself. I feel unstable because of you. Your actions were not justified. Lying never is.
Oh, grow up, Sherlock. It was a white lie which has as much use in the realm of the interpersonal as the international. It is time you come to accept that some things are bigger than yourself.
Oh, you are full of it. You like to pretend you care about the big picture, but it's just an ego trip. You like knowing more than others. You like greasing palms and rubbing shoulders with the rich and powerful. You like having eyes and ears everywhere. The fact it helps the nation is incidental, because all you care about is yourself.
It's true. I have agents everywhere, including Cordona. If you weren't so damn stubborn, you'd realize that means I'm only here for you.
Okay. Nope. So let's go back inside. We have something inside the building.
A manor all to ourselves. Can you believe it, Sherry? I have so many ideas.
Okay, good for you. We still can't buy anything. Looking for family friend. Can I remove this? Because I don't need this at the moment. Let's go and see what we unlocked. Ah. Wood. Straight smooth.
I remember returning home with a pair of perfect sticks. We wanted to turn them into training swords.
Oh, that's right. We stood there, frozen, staring at something huge in the main hall.
Main hall. Female fishtail mysterious.
It was a giant aquarium with a living mermaid in it.
Impossible. It must have been something else.
Come on. Yeah.
Oh, of course. That mortifying hoax presently taking up space in our front yard.
Well, fine. Your memory's better than mine. But I'm sure we started examining it immediately. And someone else was around too.
Okay, so someone else was around. Who? Mycroft or Mother? Mother.
It was my mother. She asked what I thought of the artifact.
You were really concentrating and holding something in your hand.
I inspected it with a magnifying glass and was able to confirm it was made of two different skeletons. The mermaid was a fake.
And so it was time to smash the thing. Your mother took a hammer and...
Slow down, John. That's not how it happened. I remember other people joined us.
Okay.
The workers took the artifact and placed it into the Cabinet of Curiosities. It became part of Mother's collection of fakes. She always said that the truth lies in the details. This mermaid helped me to learn that.
Ah. A new room.
Ah yes, my mother's studio. She was an authenticator, and this was her cabinet of curiosities.
I never saw the point. What does it matter if some artifact is real or not? It still exists.
Okay, so what do we have here? Holy Grail, obviously.
Another fake Holy Grail. Its owner claimed to be the heir of King Arthur. Scarcely believable. He also insisted a deadly rabbit was hunting him.
So Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Ah, Watkinson and Holman, Chapter 1. Well, this seems oddly familiar.
Watkinson and Holman, Chapter 1, by Wallace Dioram.
Oh, Mycroft. He always acts so serious, but then reads tripe like this.
John, if I remember correctly, you couldn't put this book down.
Okay, what do we have here? Bear.
One of the most ridiculous fakes I ever saw. Its owner insisted it was a polar bear. He thought the white paint on the brown fur wasn't noticeable.
Right. And what is this then?
Mother said this was among the hunting trophies of a Scottish Viscount.
So he tried to persuade everyone that his forest was inhabited by these beasts. It would have been thrilling if it were actually true.
I think there's actually some kind of deal with those longer teeth. What do we have here?
I remember this cozy blanket. It was perfect for...
Wigwam! Oh, that was a joy to build them. Imagining ourselves as wayfarers on the other side of the world.
So... Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Can I talk to you?
It's a pity how many amazing things are missing from this room.
So we need to buy them. A letter. Dear Mr. Holmes, please accept my deepest gratitude for your recent help with that personal matter. I shudder to think what may have happened were it not for your keen eye and sharp mind. Rest assured, should our paths cross once again, you will be greeted by a grateful friend, His Honor Judge MacDougall. Okay. Some kind of cards.
So many calling cards. Mycroft liked to keep useful people at hand.
Indeed. Luciano J. Placido.
Officer Luciano J. Placido. Reliable and driven. I recognize Mycroft's handwriting. This drawer was always closed. Only Mycroft knew how to open it.
I remember we tried to break it open and spy on him, but alas, had no success. Maybe today's the day. Oh, Sherry.
Maybe it is indeed.
Dated 24th of April, 1869.
Okay.
Carefully opened.
Mr. Mycroft Holmes, the Cordona City Hall writes to inform you that the trial of Dr. Otto Richter in the death of Mrs. Violet Holmes has been assigned to His Honor Judge MacDougall. Your application for a closed hearing has been granted. You are hereby informed that the prosecution has called you as a primary witness in the trial of Dr. Richter. You must present yourself at the Criminal Court of Cordona on the dates listed over leaf. Okay. So the doctor end up in court. What do we have here? Bingley, West Yorkshire.
1852, Bingley, West Yorkshire.
That's what I said. So what is it?
This photo caused a lot of fuss. My mother spent some time to prove it was a fake.
Oh, right, those fairies. I think there are a few fake fairy photographs from olden days.
I'm not sure I want to hear its horrifying inhuman howl again.
Okay, we have... Oh.
An archaeological find should be here. It's far better than beneath the old city walls.
Oh, that is the skull I found, okay.
The so-called mummy of a Persian princess. The defrauders did good work, but missed one small detail. It's the mummy of a man.
Nah, that's just minor detail, who cares? And armor.
The full plate armor of Sir Robert Saunford. I was told my father won it in a wager.
A wager?
Armor is armor, but look at his sword. Oh, how badly I wanted to wield the blade. Maybe you take it instead of your pistol.
Maybe not. So what do we have here? Another letter. My dear brother, I heard you recently arrived on Cordona. Okay. Have you come to see me? I do miss our evening conversation, even if we never agreed our opinions. Cordona is home to a stunning new art gallery, which I visit every Thursday. Meet me there. Oh, and do not seek Klaus. I left that name behind. Otto's brother. Otto. Mrs. Holmes is a patient of considerable interest and an ideal test subject to explore some of my theories. I will attempt to repeatedly immerse her in traumatic situation that precipitated her mental illness. It is my belief that reliving that moment may give her mind a chance to embrace what happened, accept it, and effectively cure itself. I'm confident in my hypothesis and merely need to prove it. In addition, it's fortuitous to be around the broader Holmes family. Perhaps I will be able also examine the hereditary of psychological traits, be they competencies or disorders. It is already apparent that all family members share an uncommonly high intelligence. It appears that the mother's condition has begun to affect the mind of the youngest boy, Sherlock. While I cannot conduct a proper medical examination due to the protectiveness of the elder son, it seems that the boy suffers ongoing hallucinations in the form of an imaginary friend, John. Torn diploma found in the cabinet of curiosities. Someone deliberately ripped it into several pieces. Reassembled and translated, the diploma reads, on behalf of the board of the University of Geneva, Switzerland, we rectors of the university, noting that Mr. Otto Richter has undergone the test required by the laws and regulations, confer on him the degree of Doctor of Medicine, with the rights and prerogatives so attached.
Clearly, it was deliberately torn. Wonder why someone would do that.
That is interesting.
The Tulpa, Studies in Tibetan Mentalism. An impressive number of bookmarks. Someone was rather obsessed with this subject. I'm starting to remember something.
And what would that be? What is this? Viking helmet?
And this one was brought from a German museum. They claimed it belonged to Vikings. Nonsense, of course. Vikings never had horns on their helmets.
Yes. So... Oh, right. We didn't check this one.
Look, it's Roger. This jolly old man's well preserved. Even looks refreshed.
So choosy.
I doubt he drew much interest at the auction.
That's for the best. I'd be upset if he fell into the wrong hands.
Okay. Have I checked everything? It would seem like it. What do we have? Memories, quite a lot of them. Good catch. Okay, we know that already. We have letters. One morning when we were children, John and I tried to spy Micro to find out. Okay, we need to open that. After examining the cabinet of curiosity, I started to remember something from my childhood. We need to do that also. What do we have? We brought the mental disease. Nope. Okay. Mycroft did not like the methods of Dr. Otto Richter and did not trust him. That seems... So... Okay. Do we have something we can buy from the shops? Not at the moment. So let's start with this. So I need to unlock that.
Ah, the memory comes back. We snuck about watching him.
Okay, yes, we
closed the drawer and went to the hall. We were like two shadows crawling behind him.
So we went outside. Okay. Where is he going? Obviously making quite a detour. Upstairs. Interesting. Fireplace.
Then he threw some logs into the fire and sat in his armchair to read.
Right.
It's as boring now as it was then. I'm sorry, Sherry, but I think that's it.
Wait, John, we never use the fireplace in the mornings. What if...
Let's see. Aha.
I think this is what we're looking for.
What is that?
A bit of juniper in the fireplace created a soothing atmosphere. It's the little things, isn't it?
Master of unlocking, yes, indeed. Do we have everything else? Did I check this already?
I hope I will have a chance for revanche with you, Monsieur Lupin.
Ah, Monsieur Lupin.
Almost as good as mine.
Oh, some of the treasures from my escapades in this game. Okay, good to know. And down we go, so we can finally open the drawer and see what's in it. Hopefully something interesting.
We made it. So what's there?
Alcohol.
Single malt whiskey. Mycroft's favourite.
Single malt.
Dossiers on the most influential people on Cordona. Mycroft always had a habit of building files on everyone he met.
Would seem like it, yes. A package.
Otto Richter.
Quite a heavy package. Otto Richter. Can I open it?
Otto... This one is rather thick. Mycroft can be truly dogged in his research.
Otto Ritter is 45 years old, born to a respected family in Bern, Switzerland, unmarried, no heirs. Medical practitioner, graduated from the University of Geneva, Switzerland. Graduation was postponed a year due to a minor scandal on one of his placements. Parents died of cholera in 1863. Only remaining family is half-brother Klaus, age 35. Present whereabouts of Klaus Richter unknown, last seen on Cordona. Okay, so... Oh, we need to check something more about this whiskey.
Gifted by Queen Victoria herself.
A present from the Queen. Half bottle of fine single malt whiskey, Mycroft's favorite drink. We found it locked in the drawer of the desk in the curiosity cabinet among a pile of important documents. Remarkably, it seems that the whiskey was gifted from Her Majesty Queen Victoria herself. Nice. Come on. And now, after examining the cabinet of curiosity, I started remembering something from my childhood. What is it? Old ladder, last shelf.
I used this ladder to look at the top shelf, right? On the day of Mother's breakdown upstairs.
Right you are, Sherry.
What else?
We heard a noise. I can't recall of exactly what. And we didn't have a great view from behind the statue.
Okay, I'll check if there's something around here. No. So we heard a noise. Ah.
The books and papers from the table somehow ended up on the floor. Now
But
it's
what?
coming to the surface. I feel it.
When you're finished here, can we build a wigwam from the blankets? Like in the good old days?
Sure thing, John. Sure thing. So... we were here doing something. What else did... okay, we were like so. No. Probably sneaked. No. Yeah, this seems more appropriate. Let's start with that.
You're not even trying, Sherry.
Wait, what?
Concentrate.
Okay, is it this then? Yep.
Come on, Sherry. Let's go outside. Wait. Did you hear that? Come here, Sherry.
You call this progress? Charlatan, amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
So there was a quarrel between them.
It all happened shortly after the incident in Violet's room on April 9th. Sherry decided to play with artifacts in the Cabinet of Curiosities, and of course I went with him. As a result, we became unintentional witness to an argument between Mycroft and Otto Richter. Sherlock's brother was angry. He was sure that Dr. Richter had done something dubious to their mother and that it had backfired. He called Otto a charlatan.
I heard a noise in the hall. Let's check it out.
More guests. Okay, so we have a tiny key. Noise. Curious conversation. Still no... ah, we do have something we can buy, but let's go and see the guest first.
Sherry, look. We've got a parcel here. Hurry up and let's see what's inside.
Dear Mr. Holmes, I'm waiting for you at Kurt Munch's mansion on Turquoise Lane across from Cordona Abbey in Northern Grand Surrey. Come at once, if inconvenient, come anyway. Always your friend, VV. P.S. I sent you the appropriate outfit for this place to avoid any unnecessary complications. I hope it fits.
An invitation that comes with a mask. We can't miss this, Sherry.
Okay, but that is not something we are doing now. I'll go and shopping. And after that, I'll end this episode probably. Oh, we do have something. Yes, your assistance has proven valuable despite occasional missteps. But to truly master this craft, you need to continuous practice. Put aside what you're doing and pursue new something for me. A change is good as a holiday after all. My social circle supplies me with precious knowledge that protects Her Majesty and the Empire. Yet one of my acquaintances, Ursula Oni, has not been seen by anyone in 3 days. She is the chief archivist at the Cordona City Hall and must be found. The information she possesses could be fatal to Empire's reputation. Indeed, successful completion of this task could do wonders for your own reputation, perhaps even help you step out of my shadow. Make the Empire proud.
Mycroft and his errands. Pshaw.
Well, we have a new case. We have something in here. I'll probably need to check different areas, but before that, I'll go shopping. I don't see anything in these shops. We do have Oriental Furniture Trader, and is this luxury? And luxury. Anything else? So we have a new case, Gone Girl. Good movie. Does it matter which shop I use? Let's see. If I go here, it's closest to that. I probably need to check soonish that I have done every other small cases. Of course, I could go and run around areas again and to see if I can find something. Maybe. Ah.
Exquisite furniture for your home.
Yes,
My
thank
goods
you.
will brighten up your house.
Hopefully. And this.
Enjoy your purchase.
Does it mean I don't... Yes. So it's only one of the shops I need to enter. Well, that's good. So, as this is quite close, let's jump there.
Oriental rugs at a good price.
Is it this one?
Merhaba.
Nope.
It's
nope.
a good
Yes.
day for a purchase.
Yes.
May your purchase bring you joy.
Thank you. Thank you. They will. They will. So now I think I've bought everything. We need to go and check that area also. Oh, no. There's something there. Cheap antique trader. Let's go there then. Oh, the other downward part would have been faster. Actually, I could just jump there. Yes, there. Rich. Where's the stairs? Here they are. Let's go down. Go. I think the shop is right over here. Yes.
Exquisite. My goods will brighten up your house.
What? Taxidermy creature? A deranged artist brought it back from the flooded city. Creature from sinking city, yes. Off guards, best of not to ask questions, indeed.
Enjoy your purchase.
So I think we have bought quite a lot. Do we have everything? Well, I don't see any more exclamation marks except this. It's not a shop. So let's go back to our mansion and see what we can see now. This should be interesting. Have I bought everything? Hopefully I have. Yeah, remove that.
Now it looks exactly like it was a decade ago. I can almost feel the memories hitting me.
Okay, so that's the weird creature.
What a monstrosity. Where could such a creature even survive?
Definitely much nicer looking. Yeah, the book. I haven't still found my coin collection. More Cthulhu? No, it wasn't. Sorry. That seems like a Cthulhu, but I don't know. Probably not. Disgusting creatures. There's something over there. Books sorted wrong
Oh,
order.
I remember now. I never liked the way the books were sorted on these shelves.
That you didn't. Your brother often struggled to find his reading materials after our visits.
During our time at the Stonewood Manor, Sherry and I would regularly visit the Cabinet of Curiosities. Sherlock was sometimes so bored that he'd rearrange all the books in his own particular order. He said it was easier to find a required book this way, but Mycroft never agreed. The last time that Mycroft was unable to find his desired reading material, he excoriated us for an hour and insisted we return the shelves to how they were. Okay. So, did I actually finish? Yeah, I think I did. So that was the tale of the empty house. Memories. Interesting memories, nonetheless. I'll check a little look-see around here. Maybe I missed something. Ah, there's the coin collection on the table. Okay. And what is this?
Oh, I remember these. We used them to spar together until Mycroft found out and forbade us from using real weapons.
What a bummer. Okay. And I think this is also from the Sinking City, because you used diving gear in that game.
Some light reading for my spare time.
Okay. So let's check the statistics. And 38 cases from 30 taken and 35 completed. 14 of 19 souvenirs, furniture, everything. Wardrobe 14. I probably need to go and check newspapers on next episode. And I probably need to check I have done every available cases. There's the Gone Girl and something over here. But yes, I think I will end this episode. And on next episode we are starting to go those smaller cases and see what we can do after that. I probably have to check if I missed some other cases, because I would like to find out the smaller cases before, again, I continue the main case. So, that is for the next time, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.